Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Puchalski and I am the VP of Marketing at NMI, and I'm joined here today by Jeremy Gumbley, NMI CIO and CSO. We're really excited to be back with another fireside chat, and today we're going to be diving into the importance of platform reliability in a pandemic. Before we dive into that, Jeremy, I would love to get you in here so that you could tell the audience a little bit about yourself and shed some light on your payments background, and maybe even share a fun fact about how you've adjusted to the current situation.
Thanks, Lisa. Well, I've been in payments quite by accident, I'd like to point out, for over 20 years now. Originally, the company that I co-founded, Credit Call, was a telecommunications provider, and we used to authorize credit card payments for phone calls. Now, in the late 90s, that business was in decline because, of course, everybody was buying cell phones, so nobody had a real use for fixed line telecommunications. But what we did have was a lot of experience with fraud and a credit card transaction. So we thought, what could we do with this infrastructure that we have? And my vision at the time was to make this available in a highly secure and resilient fashion to anybody that wanted to use it. And I guess that's, if you took a look at it, that's what would be the modern payment gateway as we see it today. But that was over 20 years ago. So as co-founder of Credit Call, we were acquired by NMI just over 2 years ago in 2018. And I took over as CIO, where I'm responsible for availability, and also CSO, where I'm responsible for the various security initiatives and the PCI related programs that we actually comply with. So actually this year, it's 15 years that we've been doing PCI DSS. So as for the fun fact, I guess I've been, as a result of this pandemic, I've been in the same place now for almost 3 months. And for 10 years, I've been traveling around the world in the various offices that we have. But now, being in one place for all of this time, I've managed to sleep off an accumulated 10 years of jet lag. And I also have a newfound appreciation of my home here in the UK and the surrounding areas. So it's not all bad.
Well, that's some really great background. Sounds like it's been a bit of an adjustment for you, but sounds like it's been a good one. So that's great. All right, so moving on, in the last fireside chat, VJ had talked about just, our quick work from home transition, as well as executing on our business continuity plan. So what I would love to do is to just kind of backtrack a little bit and to understand the things that NMI had done pre-pandemic to kind of lay the foundation for all of that, and how all of that helped to make our transition more seamless. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure, but the foundations for our resilience were laid many years ago, realistically. We made a decision many years ago to operate all of our services from data centers where we can actually control the environment pretty accurately. All of our equipment, all of our services are designed to be run from data centers in a lights-off fashion and managed from thousands and thousands of miles away. We also built everything on a firm foundation of experience. Now, over the last 20 plus years, we've learned so many things about availability, resilience, denial of service attacks, all of the kinds of things that occur on a regular basis. So we built and baked that into all of our designs. Now, most payment gateways these days have a couple of data centers, an active one, a hot standby one. We actually have 6 data centers around the world, which we manage. So we've been available for a very long time. We have a lot of experience in that. We always strive for 99.99% availability and uptime, but actually we exceed that on a very regular basis, and sometimes for years at a time. We've had no downtime in 2020, despite everything that is going on in the world at the moment.
Yeah, that's great. I know we're really proud of that and appreciate you diving into everything. Okay, so I know that there just seems like there's more and more news headlines that seem to be coming out covering increased cyber attacks, which are happening in the US as well as globally, which are related to the current crisis. So what I wanted to do is to just get your take on what steps our partners should be taking to protect themselves along with their customers.
well, it should come as no surprise that whenever there is any kind of crisis in the world, that hackers, fraudsters, anybody who is looking to make an attack is going to exploit that chaos. So a few tips that I have in mind is the first one is to be really wary of phishing and spear phishing attacks. That is where you get an email from somebody who is pretending to be another person. So always be really suspicious and wary of emails that seem out of character from people that you know that wouldn't often be emailing you in the first place. It's always going to be a good time to change your password. Make it a complex one. And if you can't remember your passwords, then use a password manager. Wherever possible, you should be using multi-factor authentication. That's safer than just having a password. Those are the schemes where you receive a 6-digit code via a text message when you try and log in. It makes it far more difficult to compromise an account when you have that enabled. Also, it's often really irritating when your operating system reminds you to do updates. You don't want to do it because it's going to take 10 minutes before it reboots and everything. It is so critically important. So keep your OS up to date, keep your antivirus software up to date. And it's really irritating, I understand that, but actually it's really worth it and should be part of your daily digital hygiene when it comes to security.
Great. There's some really great insights for everybody to kind of put into action on their end. So appreciate you joining us here today, Jeremy. That actually brings us to the end of our fireside chat. So thank you to everybody who joined us today. And of course, you could be on the lookout for more content from us where we'll be covering things about just the payments industry in general, as well as NMI. And as always, the best way to stay the most up to date with that content is to go ahead and give us a follow on LinkedIn. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.